right, ladies and gentlemen, after much painful...
No, turn it off. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Are you ready? Oh, okay. Are you ready now?
No, yeah.
Now you ready?
Well, yeah, no.
Which one is it? Is it yes or is it no?
Now it's a yes.
It's a yes?
Now it's a yes.
Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to First Strike, tonight hosted by myself, as per usual, Brandon Friesen, and we have the one and only final boss, Shane Wall.
That'd be me.
How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm surprised we're doing this tonight.
I'm very surprised.
We ran into some serious trouble with our PC. We are now using a different PC because, man, I don't know what happened. I blame it on Kai. He was the one using the computer at the time. He was playing Minecraft, and Minecraft is not good for anything. Nothing good happens from playing Minecraft.
It had nothing to do with Minecraft.
It had everything to do.
You just like to point fingers.
With Minecraft.
You like to point
Nobody
fingers.
likes this Minecraft game.
I like Minecraft.
Yeah, you're a nobody.
Oh. No, I'm a somebody.
Mm.
I'm a somebody.
Are
Didn't
you?
we just talk about this? I have a girlfriend now. That makes me a somebody.
Oh,
that makes me
you're
somebody worth talking about.
Congratulations, Brandon Friesen. You have won girlfriend number one.
Number one.
Well, she was behind door number one.
Oh, she's behind door number one.
Door number one. So how's that going?
It's good. Well, it's different.
Different.
It's different.
It's not good, but it's different.
No, it's good. It's very good. The bachelor life
is nice.
It's nice. Like
yes.
I could be here guilt-free all the time.
You could.
And now there's a little bit of guilt. I was here guilt-free all the time. You're right. Now there's a little bit of guilt. There's just a little bit of guilt.
Oh yeah.
I am so excited about this. Darlene Wall, welcome to the stream. How's your workout going? Your wife's been working out lately.
Pretty good from the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's good for her.
Yeah.
At what point do you get on the workout
You know what? We've tried that train once.
And how did that go for you?
You know what? We're strong enough as we are. We're all natural 100%, and we're just going to keep that going.
All natural. I feel like you're a little more than 100%.
No, man.
You're nearing 300% there, pal.
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're doing real good.
You see here, if you think my shirt's just dirty, you're absolutely right.
That's exactly what it is.
When I hold my boy and he's crying and his nose is all full of garbage and whatever, that's his head right here, and that's.
He's talking about me. I'm his boy.
Yeah, you are the boy.
We got Mr. RW Studios, of course, Bonky Gaming. We got Mixia, Kate Higgins, Christy Hall. Welcome to the stream, and Darlene, of course. Excited about the girlfriend. Oh! I was thinking. I thought your dirty shirt was exciting her.
That's also what I. Oh, okay. See, she's got to clarify a bit more.
She does need to specify.
A little more clarification.
A little bit of detail. She's not detail oriented.
No.
Not detail oriented at all.
I feel like this PC is slightly louder.
It is louder. I had to mess with some mic settings.
You had to mic with the
I had to mic with some mess settings.
Yeah.
Before we even get any farther here, to the 4,000, that number's a little off. They forgot to tack on the 3 zeros. The 4,000 people watching, if you could let us know how things sound. I had to set this all up tonight, like everything, like from scratch.
That is true. We've been working on trying to fix that other PC, and there's no luck.
But pretty much, just to give you a quick recap of what happened, the thing system 32'd, we just lost Windows, so we're trying to reinstall Windows on it, but it's being more difficult.
Even that, it didn't want to do it. It's like, you know what? We know you guys have this podcast thing to do,
and so we're just gonna mess with that.
But we're just not gonna do that.
We're just not gonna do that.
Right now, there is like four computers in here that we tried doing this, doing that, doing this. Because we didn't want to fully do a reset because we wanted to keep a lot of our stuff that was on the hard drive.
That's right.
We were able to save most, if not all of that, but
fair amount.
It's still just a gong show, and here we are.
Here we are. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought we would. The chances of us going live tonight, when I walked in here, I was like,
"There's like a 10%."
There's no, yeah, that's literally the number. There's no way we're actually going live, but somehow. We powered through it. There's some things I don't have set up. My hotkeys aren't here, so switching between us will be a little more seldom. That would be Shane Wall.
Oh, okay.
He's a cutie.
Yeah, see that shirt? Still right in this region.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about this dirty shirt here. Right there.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be a little more seldom. And then we had to really quickly throw together some podcast topics tonight.
We were so concerned with just making this thing happen tonight that we didn't really get onto topics, so we had to quickly come up with some. And as per usual, it involves shitting on Nintendo. Sorry.
That's kind of what we do.
That's just kind of happens that way.
That's kind of.
You know what? We'll give them props when they do something good, but I also, as much as I've loved them growing up, we gotta give them crap when they mess up.
Not everyone's perfect, and you can't pretend that they are.
No.
As much as you want to.
You can't.
You can't. You gotta get over it.
Yeah, don't be a Nintendo. Be a better Nintendo.
That's what they say. Don't be Apple. Apple,
Yeah.
I find Apple is the Nintendo of...
They are the more successful Nintendo.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what, Shane? Let's get into the bulk, the potatoes. Let's dive right in. Let's open this up with what have you been playing this week?
Okay, we gotta shut that music off then.
It's fine.
You're fine.
Who's saying to shut the music off?
I am.
Like it's there, but it's really quiet.
Well, let's just turn that right off. It's bugging me.
Why?
That thing right there. I don't know. It just does.
Why?
Just there. Oh yeah, it's much better.
That's what you wanted?
Much better.
I turned it down.
All right. Bulk of what? What were we getting into now?
What game are you playing this week, man?
You know, it's just this game. I'm not really prepared at all right now to talk about it, but
that one, Destiny 2.
That one. We've been playing lots.
And by we, he
means
him. He's been playing.
Game. No, Nate was here for all of last week. We were playing it together. And yeah, we've thrown a lot. We're, for people that care, we're at light level 276.
Oh, yes.
Which...
Fine, I've been waiting for you to get to light level 276.
That's pretty far, but that's not good enough. And this morning, there was a massive update that they were doing. So they said, you know what? It's not going to be ready till noon our time. So noon comes around, still doesn't work. Oh no, sorry, it's going to be ready at 2 our time. But no, that doesn't work. And most of the reason this patch happened was there was one type of armor on your arm, a gauntlet, that had some kind of offensive something. Somebody got offended, so they had to patch that in, or patch that out.
Because someone got offended?
I should say, because somebody was offended by it, because this made-up logo was the same logo as some guy on 4chan, and somebody found it offensive.
Oh.
So, of course.
Oh.
Of course. Whatever. So there's a massive update, took forever, finally was live at, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock our time, so I've played like maybe 10 minutes today. But before that, we went really hard on it. We've been enjoying it a lot.
It's good.
It's better than Destiny 1. Absolutely, it's better than Destiny 1.
What makes it better? Like,
well,
what
for one, we have a storyline that legit makes sense. So Destiny 1, last minute, like in the last month or two of development, they cut out the entire story and just pieced together something. You almost should play it, and you'll be so confused, you'll have no idea what's going on.
It was an afterthought.
They had a good story in place, supposedly. It was the main writer from the Halo games that was working on it.
Okay.
Right before the game comes out, they fire this guy, and they remove everything he had to do with it. So they reworked the entire story in probably a month.
Why?
Maybe less. Nobody knows. And it's really weird.
Fired him.
It's really weird. And it was terrible. Like, you can play that game, you will have no idea what it's about. I've played probably 800 hours into that game. I could not tell you a damn thing what happens in the story. Like, nothing. And I've replayed those missions 80 times a piece, maybe 100 times a piece. I could not tell you anything.
It's been a while, mind you.
Nothing. But even still, even at the time, I had no idea what the heck this was. Destiny 2 has a story. It's actually funny. Some of the voice acting is top notch. They did a great job that way. And it has a legit story, which is awesome. There's a bunch of, people were complaining that there wasn't enough content, but once you reach the level cap of level 20, it really opens up, and then that's where the full experience happens. So you just got to get there. It's only like a 10-hour, maybe 8-hour grind to get to that point.
Yeah.
But then you're there, and then the whole thing just blows up. There's everything to do, and whatever. I'm probably, I don't know, 35 hours in, maybe 30 hours in. I'm not really sure.
You have been playing a lot,
and it's good. for $80, that's like there's nothing wrong with it. We're 40 hours in. There's a lot more to go, and I have no problems with it.
And you've been streaming it to the channel.
Well, sort of.
Well, no, you have been.
Well, kind of.
How's that been going?
You know, we put a hole through the wall.
You guys, all right. There was so much thought and effort and an idea.
Like, what we wanted to do, you cannot easily do.
No.
There was no easy way of doing this. And
very
and
ambitious.
Have me, I kind of know how to do the streaming thing, but at the same time, I don't really know.
Like you know how to hit the live button.
I kind of know how to set it, like to make sure it's all working and all that.
Sure.
But with this, we wanted to have like 2 webcams with audio on both sides plus the game, and we couldn't get that working because we could have it set up where you could hear both of us, the people watching, but I couldn't hear Nate, and if we're playing together trying to do stuff, I kind of need to hear what he's saying.
You would.
And it was a big thing, and I honestly don't even know how we got it to work. You came in and we found a way to make it work. Whatever. It was a gong show, but it sort of worked.
Oh, it was the second you said you wanted to drill a hole through the wall for the second webcam, I was like,
what? We wanted that anyway for the winter time when I'm going to be doing some streaming, perhaps. So
yeah,
that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
but
we got Mr. Nunn and Dana. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're talking about what we're currently playing this week. I'm glad Shane's going off on a bit of a rant here because I have played absolutely nothing.
Nothing, eh?
I have touched nothing. I've been distracted.
Oh, with what?
Why? I've been working.
Oh?
I've been working.
And?
I have a girlfriend.
Oh,
yeah,
do you?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
You know what that calls for? You know what that calls for?
I do know.
Yeah.
You
do.
Do it.
That's more what I was going for.
That'd be.
That was anticlimactic.
Good try.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, congrats on the girlfriend thing.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm happy about it.
Way to get her done.
As they say. Anyway, yeah, I haven't played anything this week, and I've had a lot of shifts lately. I had a closing shift at work the other day.
Like till 11?
Yeah, like I closed the restaurant that night.
Wow.
They want me to be a normal closer, and
so you have a key to Rocco's now.
I don't, but if I agree to being a closer, then I will.
So we're talking stream at Rocco's.
Rocco's live stream.
The Rocco's live stream.
Straight from the security footage. That's exactly what's going on.
I'm down for that.
That's exactly what's happening. And yeah. So let's move things forward.
Let's do it.
With them shop trades. What's going on in the shop this week? Again, I've just not been around.
Yeah, we haven't had much this last week. And what I mean by not much, yeah, we've had a lot of 360 and a lot of PS3, but nobody cares about that. We got Zelda, the original Zelda for the NES, the gold cartridge, which is cool.
Yeah, that's always nice.
We haven't had that in for a while. I was excited about that. We had a very weird trade today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it the weird
we
Mickey
had
Mouse game for...
No.
Okay.
No, we had... this lady comes in with a Tupperware container full of games. Not a massive one, just one like that big.
Was it a lime green?
And she's got one good game, which is Warrior World for the GameCube. And Ninja Turtles for the GameCube, which is whatever.
That's a good game. Like, it's not a...
MVP Baseball 2005 for the GameCube, which is garbage.
Oh, yes.
And about, 14 sports PS3 games.
PS3?
Yeah.
Oof.
All sports.
Oof.
So the only one of any value is Warrior World. Like, that's the only one that might sell.
Yeah.
So she was asking $30, and I just couldn't do it. So we negotiated less than $30 because all those sports games, man,
they're never sell. Like, they don't sell. There's the one guy every couple months who's like, yeah, I could use a new sports game, but that's it. And that rarely happens.
Yeah, it's not often.
Like, you take in sports games and they're here on the shelf.
They are here almost permanently.
Almost.
The only ones that have a chance of selling is FIFA and NBA, surprisingly.
People buy NBA
There's
games?
a lot of guys in here asking for NBA stuff.
See, now that's weird. Like, if me, personally, if I was going to play any sports game, I think the most likely thing I would opt for is an NHL game. I don't know if that's because you talk about it all the time. That might have some influence, but that's just the one I would choose.
Could be.
Growing up, that's the game I would see the most of.
I would choose NFL Blitz.
Okay, that I mean, if we're talking one specific game, then that is the game.
That's the game.
That's the game you choose.
NFL Blitz or NBA Jam.
Do Tony Hawk games count? Because then...
Nah, I don't feel like that counts.
Like, it doesn't. I know what you mean.
Those games are too much fun to be considered a sport.
That's exactly... I like how that's true.
There's actually video game elements to it than just a sports simulation.
Yeah.
Because that's not a sports simulation.
No, that is a video
That
game.
is as much
the storyline
arcadey type. Yeah, that's not. No, that doesn't count.
I know what you mean. All right. So yeah, you haven't got much. I was at the thrift shop today. I got there after work. I had a morning shift, and I just stopped there because it's Tuesday. They restock things on the Monday.
They do.
So I go in there, and I completely impulse bought a couch today. And it's a nice couch.
Not even a couch, a sectional.
Yeah, it's a sectional couch. Okay, so our thrift shop doesn't really have much. I go in there, and there's this nice L-shaped sectional couch just in our thrift shop. I mean, it's clean, it's white, and it's only $65. And it's a good quality sectional. I can even throw up a picture if anyone wants to see it. Like, I bought that today. Also, add me on Snapchat, B_Dean for I have nowhere to put this thing. It's just sitting there right now, saying reserved on it. I paid for it. And I own a couch now. If we can make it work at the shop, that's cool. If I have to put it in storage, that's cool. But it was way too nice of a couch not to buy it.
I know what you mean. And as soon as Brandon came in here and told me this and showed me the picture, I told him, you know what? I would have done the exact same thing. I would have bought it, and then I would have thought about where do I put this? I don't know where to put this. What do I do? So I'm happy it's on you.
And it's not your problem.
And it's not my problem because I know if I would have walked in there, the same thing would have happened. I would have bought that. Absolutely.
Well, it's just so nice. Like, if it was like a ripped, anything wrong with it, then okay, fine, I'll skip over it.
Yeah.
But it's a nice, quality, clean couch. So I need to move out now. That's what needs to happen. Not because I want to be independent.
Move in here. We can.
That's always the joke. That's an inside joke. Whenever I say I want to move out, Shane's always like, "We'll move into the podcast
You
room."
can get a bunk bed here, and you and somebody else can.
This is way too small of a room to live here with someone.
No, man, you could totally live with somebody here.
No, it's tiny.
It is tiny. You're right.
I really don't know why you would buy a couch though.
I knew she would want it. I knew it.
Yeah, we were talking about that. My last resort is Darlene. I'll make $10 off of it. I feel like I could sell it for more than $75.
She'd probably pay more than 75.
It's a nice couch.
It is.
Just look at that thing.
I'm not even kidding. She would probably buy that.
Like, imagine if that had like a matching. Ottoman? Is that the word?
Ottoman.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Automatoman.
Is that an NHL player?
No.
Okay. Would you have been impressed if that was right?
Yeah.
I should have grabbed a water. Whose is this?
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna drink it.
It's yours now.
Okay.
I'll probably grab another one yet at some point. So
you don't have time. We can't do that.
We might.
It's a professional podcast.
Yeah, we might.
It's a professional podcast.
It is a professional podcast.
Professional podcast. A PS1 podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk.
Yeah, we're gonna go to some news stuff. We got a weird bit of news from Nintendo today. They came
out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but Reggie, the main ambassador for Nintendo right now, said, "Do not worry about the Super Nintendo Classic shortages. Do not pay more than the retail price for these Super Nintendo Classics." Now, he's basically saying don't buy them used on, or not used, but secondhand off eBay
for the ridiculous price that they're
scalpers
asking.
And all that. They're saying they can back up the supply.
Apparently.
I'm calling a whole lot of BS on this because they have never been able to back up the supply.
And where did this come from? Like they discontinued it and then suddenly. Actually, you know what?
This is the Super Nintendo one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Super NES. They say don't pay more for that.
Okay.
But then he goes on to say we're restocking the NES Classic, so watch for that in 2018. So, I don't understand how. Yeah, they're putting this back into production now, the NES Classic, when they said many times they weren't, but now they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they gonna make like 12 of those and that's it, or like are they gonna just blow this up so you can pick this stuff up anywhere? Like, what's gonna happen?
I know what you mean.
It's very confusing. Everything Reggie says, you can't take seriously. He's got such a...
The way he says it.
I don't know what it is, but he's all, like... He's Nintendo. He literally just speaks for Nintendo, and that's it.
Yeah, he's just the voice.
He's is the guy. Voice, and he has that teddy bear looking face where you don't want to punch it, and you get excited about what he says, but
he doesn't mean
he's
much.
Got nothing. He's not pulling the strings over there.
What I don't understand is Nintendo is located in Japan. Japan is like the king of mass producing stuff, right?
It's up there.
Like, it's up there. So why does Nintendo have such a hard time keeping up with the...
This is just what they've done. They've done this since the original Nintendo back in '85. They cannot keep up with the demand. They're purposely not putting out product
so
to create this fake demand and make people want it. And it's worked for them. And they've just been doing it over and over and over again on every single console that they've ever had.
Except the Wii.
And that's just how it is. No, the Wii was like that too.
There's so many Wiis out there, man.
Were you around when that thing launched?
No, you're right, actually.
You could not pick one up anywewhere.
You're right, actually.
People were selling those things for 3 times the retail price.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
They've done it every time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, later on, then you can pick them up anywhere. But for the first couple of years, that's just how it is. And that's what we're noticing with the Switch. People are still having a hard time picking up a Switch. And, man, Christmas is right around the corner.
Yeah.
You would think that they should have this stuff everywhere, but no. They're going to release about 1,000 units for all of North America for Christmas time. Each Walmart gets one, each GameStop gets one, and that's just what it is.
One.
Yep, one.
I don't get why they do, like, you're literally sacrificing money for the sake of, hey, we want to look like we're more popular than we are.
Pretty much.
Even though you still are popular, even if you're not doing this. Like, that's what I don't get.
And man, the amount of hype the Switch had right at the beginning and like those first few weeks, was insane.
Yeah,
you would have had people that did not care about buying a Switch. They would have gone out and bought a Switch.
Just impulse
They
bought
would
it.
have gone out and bought a Switch.
And now they won't.
And now, probably not. It's worn off, man. I haven't turned on my Switch in like probably 2 months.
Well, even got you haven't cared about Nintendo in a while. Even got you under the hype bus for that. Like you were excited about it.
Absolutely. And I will turn it on next month when we get Mario Odyssey, which is going to be awesome. I'm excited about that.
That'll be good.
It's the first Mario game I've looked forward to since Sunshine, so I'm...
And Sunshine disappointed you.
Sunshine... Well, I mean, yeah. Like, Paper Mario was cool. The Thousand Year Door. And Smash 4 I somewhat look forward to, but I never played it. Mario Maker I look forward to.
Yeah.
But this is different. This is a whole... Like, this is the adventure-type Mario game. Galaxy I didn't care for. Everything on the Wii U I didn't care for. Whatever. That's just what it is. But... Speaking of the Switch, we have L.A. Noire being ported to it.
On the Switch?
They're remastering L.A. Noire. And this is what this is where it's weird.
Like also on PS4 and...
PS4 and Xbox One get it.
Okay.
This was a 3 or 4 disc game on the 360. And they're going to fit this on this tiny little cartridge?
Well, cartridge can hold more space.
Sure, but this is Nintendo we're talking about.
I know, but it can hold, just because of what it is, it can hold more space.
Yeah, but this is Nintendo we're talking about.
I know, but it's still a cartridge.
I guarantee you these cartridges can only hold, 10 gigs.
Well, I know what you mean. Breath of the Wild fitted on a cartridge.
That's huge. 8 gigs or something.
That game is huge, though.
But it's not that,
If you're optimizing
but that's Nintendo optimizing it for their own thing. This is Rockstar. They just want to port that stuff on there and go.
I don't know how that's going to go.
It'll be interesting.
I don't know how that's going to go.
But again, and this is a problem, you can pick this game up for $50 Canadian on your PS4 or your Xbox One, but on the Switch, $65.
Oh.
So it's $15 more to play it on the Switch.
For that portability thing that they like to push. Well, you could take it on the go so we can charge more.
You can, sort of, but you're going to need to charge that sucker right away, too. So it gets interesting.
Mr. RW Studios wants to know, is hoping we're going to talk about the new Direct coming up. I didn't even know there was a Direct coming up.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
In the morning?
I have no idea.
I have a split shift, and that sucks.
It's not... I don't expect it to be anything interesting.
I like to see their Directs, see what's up. Maybe they're talking about
No.
Virtual Console.
They won't.
You never know.
They won't.
You never know, man. Blind optimism.
They won't do it.
Blind.
They won't do it. Because for them, yeah, we could launch Virtual Console with thousands of titles. Or this Christmas, we could release a game and have 18 titles to play on the Switch now.
Optimism.
No. I have... No. I do not have... I don't put any trust into Nintendo anymore.
No?
No.
Well, like, I mean, the Switch has a lot going for it, right? It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you talk about it like there's enough that's gonna make it just not worth anything in like a year from now. Like, what's so bad about the Switch? Like, what are the negative? What's wrong with it?
For one, probably the biggest thing is you're not gonna get that third-party support. That's Nintendo has been the king of pushing away third-party support, so that's not gonna happen. Yeah, they're getting Skyrim, but man, that game's like 6 years old already. So
True.
Whatever.
True.
You're not gonna get the new Elder Scrolls. You're not gonna get the new Fallout. You're not gonna get Fallout 4 on this. Like it's so far behind in terms of power. Like, it's obviously can't compete with the PS4 or the Xbox One. Never mind the Pro or the One X or any of that stuff. So it still is underpowered. That's a big thing. It still has very crappy third-party support, and being 32 gigs is becoming a problem. Yeah, it's 32 gigs of space.
Yeah, I don't know why.
They've already announced, or it's been leaked anyway, that certain games will take up more than 32 gigs. So now you're going to have to buy this external SD card to put in there. Which, yeah, it's expandable. That's fine. That's great. But, man, storage is so cheap these days. That has to be part of the unit. Even with the PS4 and Xbox One, that was only 500 gigs of space. And like one game would take up like 80 gigs sometimes. Even Destiny 2 takes up
a lot.
60. Wow, okay. I thought it said 68 gigs. It's 68 megabytes. That's
what?
That surprises me.
Now, how do you go from 68 megabytes to 68 gigs? Explain that.
I remember Call of Duty Ghosts was 60 to 70 gigs.
So what's up with that?
I think Halo 5 on the Xbox One is 80, 85 gigs. It just helps it run smoother, being on the system, whatever. But, see, you can't, whatever. Back to the Switch. There's so many big problems. Like everything is more expensive on the Switch. The controllers are more expensive. The cables are more expensive. The games are more expensive.
And you're getting less.
And you're getting less, but yeah, you can take it on the go, and that's cute and everything, and that's fine. But it's still, yeah, it is. It's cool, but man, realistically, how often are you gonna play Skyrim on the bus?
I mean, me and you, not very often. Maybe kids growing up with this thing in this generation,
but
maybe they will.
Would you let your kid take their Switch to school?
I don't know. If I was a parent who didn't know anything about video games, probably.
I would never. Not a chance in the world.
I would look at it like their phone. If I wouldn't because of who I am, but if I was just some parent who isn't me or you, just was buying this for their son.
But you
they
dropped
like games.
$400 on this thing. You're just gonna let them waltz off to school with this?
No, you'd be mad at them if they did it, but like, I wouldn't stop them.
I would.
Like, I would. Like, I would.
You just said you wouldn't stop them.
I'm talking it from a parent's perspective who doesn't know anything about games. It's like parents give their kids expensive smartphones nowadays, and it's like, yeah.
See, even that I wouldn't do.
No, I wouldn't do it either, but that's what parents do, which is why the Switch is justified, because parents will do it.
But man, that's like, with one game, that's like $500. That's more than $500. You're just gonna let your kid take that to school?
I'm not, but Joe and Mary will.
You think so?
Joe and Mary, they're absolutely gonna let their kid do that.
Like at what age here?
Well, I'm thinking. Let's use my cousin Jen as an example. She's got a daughter. Her name is Macy. She's 5. She has a tablet. She brings that tablet everywhere.
Okay, tablets you can buy at $80.
Oh, it's like an iPad actually. So it's more expensive.
Yeah, see, that would never happen. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Parents, if it makes their kid happy, okay. Like, I'm not saying it's a good decision, but it's kind of just what happens. Yeah, I think you're right with that third party support. That's always been Nintendo's kind of issue. But for some reason,
that's been their problem for a long time.
But for some reason, their consoles still sell. Like, they still...
Well, the Wii U didn't sell.
Well, the Wii U was the Wii U and the Virtual Boy being the exceptions.
The Wii sold, but if me and you wanted to, we could have made a game for the Wii. And you could have picked that up anywhere at Walmart for $20.
Yeah, there was a lot. What happened to that Nintendo seal of approval on the Wii?
Oh, that's long gone.
Where did that go?
Long gone.
That needs to come back.
There's way too much money to be made here. Let's make some money because we lost a lot of money with the GameCube. Now we need to make a lot of money. So, yeah, you want to make a sewing game for the Wii? Done. You want to make a Price is Right game for the Wii? Done.
Let's do it.
You want to make a running in the field and catching butterflies game? Done.
We're porting E.T. to the Wii. Done.
Done. Do that.
Rhiannon doesn't think I could be a parent. I'm offended. I'm wearing the dad shirt and everything. Come on.
Yeah, you do have the dad shirt.
It's the dad shirt.
But do you have the baby snot?
I don't have the baby. You got me one up there.
That's what I got.
You've got me one upped.
That's what we got.
I even have the early 2000s dad.
I see that.
Hair.
That's good. Man, this is getting a little bit much here.
No way.
Yeah.
A little bit much? Do I need to show you a picture of you from 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Because that was a little much.
We'll get there.
I hope so.
We will.
You look like a jolly giant. But that's Switch. Like, aside from the third-party support, because that's just always been a Nintendo problem. That's just been around since forever.
But you can fix that.
You can.
But they're choosing not to. And that's the problem.
Well, because they're them. They're Nintendo. They don't need third-party. They're Nintendo. People are going to buy it because it's Nintendo.
It's so annoying.
It's why...
Man, I would love... You know what I would love to see? A desperate Nintendo where they have to make something good and execute it right and have the support, make it just a desperate Nintendo where they need to make something good.
But they have so much money.
But they have so much money.
So that does not it would take a lot for them to get there. They have to really screw up. We have got John Sankey in the chat. Big shout out to him. John Sankey is the reason why this podcast is live right now.
That is very true.
We are using his computer to make this happen. And let me tell you, setting this all up, like the evening of the podcast, was not fun. But yeah, big shout out, man.
But it's working.
It's working.
And that's what matters.
It's working.
Where are we at? We're still shitting on the Switch a little bit.
A little bit.
But you have to. How can you not?
See, but it's doing some things right. Once that virtual console is there, which again,
it's not coming.
Once it gets there, all those games on the go. Ocarina of Time, we're playing that on the go. The old-fashioned
They already
version.
have that.
But the old-fashioned version.
Oh, yeah.
Paper Mario, my favorite game of all time, playing that on the go. On the go.
Well, kind of.
GameCube Virtual Console, that's a thing? On the go.
That needs to be a thing, but it probably won't be a thing. The battery life on this thing it's still the main problem. You're going to get 3 hours of game time before you have to charge this thing again.
I know what you mean, but it still works. Like, you're still playing on the go.
Sort of.
And then if you have like an external battery, which a lot of people do at this point, you got some extra battery power there. Like a 20,000 milliamp external battery is like $40, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have all the equipment.
But like, if you're a person that travels a lot or you carpool every day or something, then this portability thing makes sense. But for me, none of this will make sense.
Oh sure,
ever.
You have a specific lifestyle. Other people have a different lifestyle.
Even still, I feel like once you are out of school, you're not on the go as much. You have your the place you're living at. That's where you are.
Some people travel a lot. You're not gonna take your PS4 wherever you travel. You're not gonna take your Xbox One wherever you travel. Like when you were trucking. If you had that Switch around then, that would have been pretty sweet. You wouldn't have to go home, sit down by your TV.
I would have probably rather played my Vita, to be honest.
I know you would have, because you love your Vita.
I do.
And the Vita is kind of what ruins this argument.
Is kind of amazing.
It is interesting.
It's kind of amazing.
It is interesting.
Amazing.
I still don't get how that works. Why didn't Nintendo do what they did? Have a home console, and then have a separate, make your 3DS or whatever bullshit you want to use, be able to play.
Well, the 3DS would have never been able to handle anything. Like, that thing can barely play N64 games. And
It can play Mario 64.
You know what? Let's lump we're short on topics today. So I just came up with the first few things. One was, we're going to talk about problems with the Switch. I feel like we've nailed down most of it. It's overpriced for what it is. lack of third-party support, lack of game support. It needs games, man.
Yeah.
The whole online part is a gosh darn mess right now.
Is there even an online part yet? Like,
you can play online and you can chat using your phone and whatever, and it's all weird. Like that's just a man. Like the Dreamcast had proper online gaming, and that Dreamcast turned 18. 18 years ago, Sega was able to have proper online gaming. When the Xbox came out, Xbox Live, that was in 2002, I think, when that came out.
These were wired games.
Maybe
wired online gaming.
3, something like that. Proper online gaming.
Via cable.
Okay, even still. Then you go to PS3 in 2006. Proper online
The PS3 is a bad example. That was not proper online.
You had online gaming with chat. Dr. Bob still plays his Dreamcast. At a B. That's awesome.
As much as you praise your Dreamcast and love that thing, I've never seen you play a Dreamcast game.
No, my main problem is we don't have any actual games here. We can burn them and all that. It's not quite the same. It's almost the same.
I know what you mean. I have a hard time.
But I will go through a phase where we go back there.
I mean, that's a easy topic, John. He's saying story versus graphics.
No, let's do it right now. Let's do it.
That's a quick one. On
Let's
the count of 3. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Story. Okay. All right. Just me then.
Well, I'm on a 4-second delay here.
Oh, okay. I'll just wait.
That's really tough.
That's not a question.
It is.
That's not a question.
It is.
Story versus graphics? Not even a little bit.
No, you need to. No, you need to at least.
I think you're saying this for diversity.
No,
you just want us to drag it out a little
Story
bit.
is huge. Absolutely. You need to have a good, proper story. But every now and then a game comes out that is being said it's the best looking game on the console. It's the best looking game. And I will buy it just as a test, just to kind of show off to people. Look how good the graphics are on this game. And a buddy of mine did that with Killzone when the first Killzone came out on PS2. It was, look at how good these graphics are. It plays a big part. If you had crappy graphics, like take a look at Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. That came out, 2 years ago?
And the game also was a bad story.
It looks like a PS2 game. That alone will turn people off. The game has to look at least up to date for it to still be played by people.
Okay, but
and it depends on the genre a lot.
If 2 games came out on the same day, one being advertised as the best looking game of the generation, and one being advertised as just a phenomenal story like The Last of Us type game, which am I gonna go buy first? That's hands down. I'm gonna go.
You're gonna buy the story.
I'm gonna buy the story.
Yeah. Which is why the best example I have is this current example sort of. Was The Order 1886 on the PS4. Very short game, very close to the 6 hours that John's talking about, but it looked beautiful. So, is that $80 or $90 worth it? No, not really. I bought mine for $10 when it went on sale.
Nice.
But I wanted to still play it. So, depending on the game, like the graphics mean a lot. You look at Call of Duty. Does story mean anything? Absolutely not.
No.
That's game mechanics and graphics together.
Yeah.
And there is a story. Nobody cares about the story. But that's
the people playing Call of Duty aren't... The people who play Call of Duty are the people who only play Call of Duty. That's a niche.
Mix in a little Grand Theft Auto.
Those are just... That's their niche. That's their genre.
But if you look at any of the sports games... Graphics is key. There's no story there. They have to.
Well, then, even when you say graphics, like you have to lump in like gameplay with it, because just graphics by itself, you can have a great game. It could have no story, and it can play like shit, but it can look really pretty. I don't care at all. I don't care at all. Your arguments for graphics here, you're also throwing in game mechanics.
No, The Order 1886 just looked beautiful.
Did it play like shit?
It played kind of like a movie.
Oh, like what's that GameCube game? Like the movie Universal Studios tour.
Universal Studios. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and if you're talking RPG wise, I want like 5% graphics and like a large percent story. Like that's huge. If we're talking sports, we need no story, all graphics. Whatever. It's kind of different. I think fighting games, graphics is key. It has to look good. It has to play very smooth, all that stuff. Yeah.
Well,
yes,
sure.
There's that one.
Sure. Missile Dine Online, Corey's here, says that Legend Dragoon is one of the best games of all time. I keep hearing that one come up.
Yeah.
Have you played that one?
No.
No?
No.
Huh.
I was late
John?
to the PS1. But John's been on my ass for a few years already to play that thing.
Dusty also loves that one.
Yeah.
Corey just recommended that one.
We had it in the shop. We've had it in here like 4 times. But every time I got it in, I've been currently playing a different RPG or something else. So I haven't actually got around to playing it. But at some point,
I keep
we're
hearing
gonna
that
get
one
there.
come up. I'm more intrigued by it every time I hear the name. It's on my list that I never seem to get around to. Either way, again, when it comes down to story versus graphics, story, like generally speaking, it also depends on the person. Because again, you have that Call of Duty gamer, they're gonna pick the graphics. And
Yeah.
you have your traditional gamer, they're gonna pick the story.
Exactly. I have a buddy that comes to mind that he's all graphics all the time. He doesn't care about anything else. That's what it has to be.
Does his name rhyme with Schmoobin?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
You're
I
right.
know you're talking about.
Yes.
But back to that 3DS. Has no story or graphic. Well, I mean, and I think it's got a lot of games for it. The thing is the portable Wii, pretty much. There's a lot of games on that thing, and more coming. Like it is if you want a console that you have games for, that's the one.
That is a massive library of games.
That's like,
Slight problem though.
It's on the 3DS.
That screen is a ball of hot trash.
It's not good. It is not good. I don't understand why that resolution is so low. Like they could do better.
The best, like I don't know if they could have made the 3D effect work on a higher than 240p screen.
Yeah.
But we're talking like 240p. When you open YouTube and you hit 240p, you think you're having a migraine or something. You can't even see what's going on. Like it's all whatever. You can't even tell. So that's the best they could get, even with the new 3DS and the new 2DS. That's the best you can give me is still 240p. That's a problem. Christy, play Evita for about 30 seconds and we can talk about this.
It's just such a low resolution. And again, this is one of those things where graphics, story, right? In this case, this is your reason for not playing it. I would still play it with the bad screen. My problem is, I don't know what my problem is, but every time I've sat down with a 3DS in any game, I've tried the new Pokemon games, I've tried I really wanted to like it, so I tried games that I loved from my childhood, like the Ocarina of Time remake, stuff like that. There's just something about the 3DS that I just don't, like, I'm not having fun playing this game. I don't know if I'm just a tried and true console gamer.
That might be it.
But that doesn't make sense to me because I always enjoyed my Game Boy SP. I got a lot of good memories with that thing. But no, that I don't know if it's like, because it's trying to be a console in the way that it has like a joystick, and but it's not a console, and I know it's not.
It's just so, again, typical Nintendo, underpowered. There's like nothing there. Like, can you think of a worse game to play than Assassin's Creed on the DS?
Yeah,
that just sounds terrible.
Learn math.
We almost sold that game. I would rather play that game than Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Or Call of Duty.
That wouldn't. Yeah, no, that would. Assassin's Creed on the 3DS. Like if there was nowhere else to play it, but there is other places to play it.
There is.
So.
Yeah, I don't know why I love my Vita, and I've spent so many hours on my Vita, so I'm okay with a handheld, but it has to play nicely. It has to look nice. I don't know. Like there's a lot of RPGs on both systems, but the 3DS just looks like a version of the N64. Sometimes a bit better graphically, sometimes a bit worse. And like I've played through a few games on there. I even played that Guitar Hero on DS, and that was terrible.
Well, Guitar Hero, that's a bad example. That's not even fair.
That was terrible.
That's not even fair. That's like saying want to play an NHL game on the 3D. Like that's not even.
I would play that.
As long as they set it up like an old school sports game.
I would play that.
That'd be different. Ricardo wants to buy a PlayStation 1 and play Ape Escape. My man, Ape Escape kicked ass. Particularly Ape Escape 3 for the PS2. Great game. I should stream those. That's a fun series. Brandon, when can I get you to play Champions of Norrath? I don't play MOBAs. Otherwise, I would. And then this is the part where she's going to say it's not a MOBA.
Yes.
I'm going to call that out right now. I just realized I'm wearing my new Extra Life GameShop shirt. Atta B, boy! That's what I like to see. Rep the merch.
So if I ask the viewers a question and you a question, you probably know the answer because I've talked about it already. In 2018, what gaming console has the most games announced that is coming out for it, or games in development for this console? Like, take a guess. What is the most out of all of them? You got Switch, you got PS4, Xbox. We won't count PC on this one because everything PC comes out. But yeah, you probably know the answer. Eh?
You're saying which has the most games for it?
Which has the most games announced and being in development for 2018?
Ah.
Then in total.
Does the PC count in that?
No.
No.
That's what I just said.
I was half paying attention. I would say the PS4.
You're wrong. It's the Vita.
Oh, the Vita.
The Vita. It's basically, right now, it's evolved to being a Steam-like machine. It's catering so much to these small indie guys that are able to just put games out on the Vita because it costs very little. You can just download it. There's like just tons and tons of different games. It just doesn't end. Bravely Default would be a great one on the Vita. I played that one, loved that one, but again, it's on that 3DS, which is fine. Was a good game. It felt like a Super Nintendo game, which is fine. But yeah, Vita's had the most games available to it, I think, for 2 or 3 years in a row now, which is crazy because nobody talks about it anymore. And there's only, I think there's less than 10 million out there. But the user base spends so much money on their Vitas. People love their Vitas.
That they can stay
and
alive.
They buy more games on their Vita than in any other console. A guy buys games for that console.
So comfort-wise, just purely based on how it sits in your hand, 3DS or Vita? Do you like that foldable thing?
Just stock as it is, I'd probably go with... The original Vita is not nice. The Slim feels a lot better, but you can get shells to put your Vita into where it feels a lot better.
Okay.
Which is what I have. I found that right away. I had to buy it. So I had to do that. But
I still think it's ridiculous that you can play your PS4 games off your Vita.
Yeah.
That is what the Switch should have been. Like,
absolutely.
Because then you have the power of your console, but your Vita can play it.
Yeah.
That is genius, and I don't understand why nobody talks about that. The Vita, that's crazy. I feel like I only have 2 games for mine. Speaking of which, Robert, we still need to ship out his shirt. If you remember that.
Well, you gotta give me his address first.
I did. And then we had a podcast later that week, so I erased it off the whiteboard. And then we forgot about it.
Well, yeah, we gotta get that going.
Yeah.
We gotta get that out there.
Wow, here's a blast from the past. We have Harry Boulevard, or whatever your last name is here.
Boulevard.
I know him as Hard Batwing. When I was in the 9th grade, me and him used to play Minecraft together. Oh. He's from England.
That is what brought this computer to the ground.
Where do you think you're going?
Well, I'm getting a water because I'm thirsty.
Or because you heard Minecraft, now you want to leave.
Enough of that Minecraft.
He's got a vendetta against that game. Corey plays his PSP all the time. I didn't know people still had PSPs. I think the Vita... I never cared about it until I met Shane, but that thing is an impressive little machine.
You want one of these?
Yeah, sure.
Hey!
We're live. There was pressure for me to catch it.
Caught that thing.
There was pressure.
That'd be bud. Yeah, I love.
What are you talking about? I'm a big sports guy. I was hoping you'd do a spit take.
Could have. PSP. Yeah, I played a lot of that PSP. Actually, my grade 10 math class. That's all I did. I borrowed my buddy's PSP, and that's all I did.
Yeah, I have no relationship with that thing. It was cool when it came out, because, like, internet browser and all that stuff.
I have no use for that Minecraft game. Like, it just looks boring.
It's
man.
not.
It looks so boring.
Corey said the same thing. He hates it, too. You either are in love with that game, or you just don't want to touch it.
I get the whole creativity thing, but that's exactly what I hate in a video game.
Being creative.
I don't want to be creative.
That's true. Even in Breath of the Wild, when it came to the creative stuff, like cooking, you made Kai do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't like using your imagination. I didn't come here to be reminded I played Minecraft. Dude, that was that entire year of your life. Wow. Don't be ashamed of your past, man. He had a YouTube channel and everything.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, he made Minecraft videos with me.
Good job, bud.
It was a really cool time in my life. It was a really cool time. I was really tough. Minecraft just doesn't even make sense to me. What's Shane's top 5 Vita games from Caleb Penner?
Top 5? What's up, Caleb? Number 1, Persona 5. Or 4, sorry. Persona 4 Golden was a remaster, if you will, of the PS2 game. That is the number 1 game to buy on your Vita. Man, that's a tough top 5. I know it's not exclusive to it, but Rogue Legacy is just made for that thing. Same with Binding of Isaac. It's just made for that Vita. Like, it just plays so perfect on there that it's just, you have to. There's so many other retro games, like every Final Fantasy up until 10-2 is on there. You can play it. The Final Fantasy 10 remaster was great on there. That's up there just because I love the game, and it's awesome. I don't even know about the other ones. Uncharted, what's the Uncharted game? Golden Abyss, that was really good. Freedom Wars was very good. Think we're at 5.
Yeah, I think it was more than 5. I think it was 6.
Whatever, however many it is. They're awesome, and I love. And if you're ever gonna get a Vita, make sure it is the original, not as comfortable Vita, because you get that fancy OLED screen as opposed to just a regular LCD screen.
What's the difference? What brighter, more color?
Brighter, it just looks better. It's a higher quality,
but it's less comfortable.
But it's slightly less comfortable, and it's got worse battery life.
But it's worth it for that screen. Just for the screen.
It goes for more money than the LCD screens, even though it's older and doesn't have any built-in memory. I don't care. It goes for more money. I'm not even kidding. It does go for more.
I would go for the slim. I don't care if the screen's a little bit better.
No, you want the big one.
No,
trust me.
I want the big one.
You do.
12-inch, whatever Darlene said the one time.
Yes.
Okay then. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Miss Nunn agrees with you. She has one of the Tales games for it. Man, those Tales games,
I've never played any of those, but I've heard a lot of good things.
I own Symphonia for the GameCube. I should just play it at some point. It's just one of those games that's a commitment. Dragon Quest VIII. I still want to play that one. I haven't forgot about it. I saw a trailer for it from like 2005, and it interests me. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles or Fire Emblem? You're asking the wrong people.
I don't care for either. I would sooner play Crystal Chronicles over Fire Emblem.
Yeah?
Any of them. I'm not a strategy RPG guy.
But the Mario Rabbids thing you're willing to try.
Maybe.
You said you were excited about it, and then the next week you said you didn't care, and the next week you said you were excited
it's cool. It is cool, but I'm not going to go and drop $80 on that.
I know what you mean. Corey's been streaming it. If he's still here, he's been playing through it a lot more recently. So I'm not sure.
He was rating it pretty high when I think I popped into one of his live streams and asked him what he thought of it so far, and I think he was rating it pretty high.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But if you have a Switch and you don't have a PS4 or an Xbox, it's a must-have.
Yeah, well, it's one of the 4 games you can get right now.
Pretty much.
You had one more topic written down there.
Yes.
What'd you have there?
Again, we didn't have much time, but...
Oh, we've already dragged this on quite a lot.
Yeah, we've done good.
We've done
so, you know, when you're growing up, what was your first console?
Personally, mine that I owned, the Nintendo 64.
The Nintendo 64.
A beautiful machine.
So you get to know this thing.
You do.
And what was the first other console that you saw? You went to a friend's house, an uncle's house, somebody's house. They had something different, and you were just blown away by it, or you were intrigued by it. Like, what was the first time you noticed that there were other things in the world?
The first time? Because I have a few memories of seeing different consoles, right? For the first time. And I can actually remember them because they were kind of crazy. Because it's like, all I have is my N64, but you have this thing that plays discs, right? So, the first one I can think of is actually, I saw two at once. It was my neighbor. My neighbor. They have this dilapidated 2-story house next to our little bungalow that I grew up in. And they don't take care of this place. And they got 2 kids. I go there to hang out because he's my neighbor. He's naturally my best friend. Obviously. So I go over there, and they have 2 consoles that I've never seen before. One being in my friend's brother's room. We would sneak in there to play on this thing. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the Game Wave. No, not the Game Wave. It's called the NES. Yeah. He had just a butt ton of games for this thing, and we thought this thing blew my mind. Like, it was an older console than what I knew, but I thought it was really cool because it was different.
Yeah.
So I would sneak in, we'd play Mario Bros. 3, we'd play Duck Hunt, and the fact that there was this gun thing.
Yeah, your 64 didn't have that.
They didn't have that. So, to me, this thing was, like, almost cooler than my N64. Because in your head, you don't click that this is an older thing, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's all just a gaming console. So I'm playing that, we're playing some Dr. Mario, we got this weird Karnov game, some side-scrolling platformer, playing ice hockey, Wheel of Fortune, golf. There's just so many titles that we would play. Tetris.
Of course.
And that was cool. But then downstairs, hooked up to their main TV, they had an original Xbox. Also mind-boggling compared to my N64.
That was a big jump.
Like, there's this huge, honking, square black box with a big X on it. You hit the button and it glows green.
Yep.
And this creepy electricity thing pops.
Yep.
That thing blew my mind watching that video for the first time. And that's when I first played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I played God of War 3.
You did not play God of War 3.
I didn't play God of War. I don't know what it was. What did I play?
I don't know.
What game was it? I know at the start, you're fighting a guy on a horse in a ring.
What?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to I'll look it up and I'll let you know. I played some weird game. I didn't really play it after that. But I played San Andreas for the first time there, and that was important to me. And yeah, those are the two first times. I also, when I went to my cousin's house, I saw the PS1 for the first time. But that was kind of after the Xbox, so it wasn't as mind-boggling as that was.
Yeah.
But Twisted Metal was sweet the first time playing through that. Yeah, those are mine. What has Shane got? What was your first console to start?
First one I got was an NES back in 92 or 93 is when I got my NES. Yeah. So late to the party, but I was 3 or 4 years old at the time when I got it. I remember shortly after I got it, it was probably only a year, maybe 2 years, something like that. We went to I had these, they were my mom's cousins, but they were close enough in age to me. He was maybe 2 years older than me, 3 years maybe. And yeah, they lived a few hours away in Ontario. So we went over there every now and then just to hang out and stuff for the weekend, whatever. And I get there one day, and he's like, I'm used to my NES. Like, I have just my tried and true games, like Mario 1, Mario 3, Mario 2. Like, no, I wasn't Zelda. Metroid. We had, whatever, just those, like RBI Baseball, RC Pro-Am, all that stuff.
Sure.
Whatever, all that stuff was good. And then I go there, and gosh darn it, he's playing this thing. It was a black system with a black controller, and it was super fast and everything. He had a Sega Genesis with Sonic 2.
Oh.
And I could not believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I would try to play this thing. And man, I sucked. I couldn't do anything. I could barely get past the second level of the game. It was extremely difficult. But that just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that there was stuff like that out there, because where I lived, and the 4 neighboring kids that lived in my apartment with me, we all had the NES, and that's all we had. We didn't have anything special or new or anything. Just the NES, that's what we had. So we went there, and then funny enough, a few years later, that was the first time I saw the Nintendo 64. Same guy, he was big into games. Saw that for the first time. I still only had an NES. I was still late to the party. Yeah, that guy showed me, like, it was my first time seeing a Game Boy. This is all the same guy.
Wow.
Game Boy, first time seeing a Dreamcast.
He was just ahead on the
I remember,
on the
like,
games.
well, he was always a bit older, had more money,
Yeah.
and he got this stuff. And he had the Dreamcast first, and that just, I had a 64 at that point already. And he had this Dreamcast, and man, that blew my mind. That was just incredible. And then, yeah, later on, we get older. I buy my GameCube, and then right away he buys his Xbox. So we got together, and we were playing a bit of both because they came out around the same time. That was kind of cool. Could see the Xbox and see the GameCube and stuff. But yeah, I'll never forget seeing that Sonic the Hedgehog 2, man, and trying to play that, and that was just a freaking mess. I just couldn't do it.
Compared to Mario, you got no idea what you're doing. This ain't your daddy's Mario.
Not even close.
That would be tough. The game I was thinking of was Jade Empire. That's what it's called.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not Gears of War 3.
No, it's a God of War.
God of War 3, that's what you said.
Yeah, it was Jade Empire. I don't know why I said God of War. Either way, weird. What's up, Phoenix Force? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you.
But John, Red Faction on PS2, that I remember seeing like reviews and videos of that where you can just blow your way through a mountain and just destroy this mountain and make tunnels and shit, and like just you can do whatever you want. It was weird. Again, I didn't care because that's too creative, and I don't want to make all these fancy tunnels and whatever, so I didn't care.
You need to exercise your creativity muscles.
Absolutely not.
Just a little bit. Come on.
Splinter Cell, awesome game. Lets you mod your Xbox and everything, which was good. But it was a good game. Also, Sam Fisher, he's the man.
Never played much Splinter Cell.
No?
Tried it a little bit. Wasn't really my thing. Kind of like Counter-Strike. It just, everybody loved that one. Couldn't.
Well, you're not big into the FPSs, so.
No, I'm not. And like, even if I don't know I don't know how you understand you can make so many of this genre. Like, I don't get it. You can make the same argument for platformers, but like, every FPS game is kind of the same to me. Just like every platformer is kind of the same. But I don't know.
But they're not the same.
But they're not the same, and it's, I don't know. That's some good water.
It is.
Oh, that's refreshing.
I don't know what it is. Just all this talking just makes me thirsty.
I know what you mean.
I thought I had something else on the news here.
On the news?
Yeah.
You had a history lesson to wrap up with whenever we get to that.
Yeah, I think we're there.
Yeah?
I think we're there.
Well, then I'll be damned, man. Teach me something.
Teach you something. Okay, we're going to talk about the best video game console of all time.
The Virtual Boy?
The Virtual Boy.
Oh,
no,
boy.
It's not the Virtual Boy.
Aww.
No, we're going to be talking about the
Panasonic
64 a little bit.
The 64?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because why not?
All right.
I always love like reading about stories on the development of consoles and how they were being made and the challenges they had and all that stuff. So in 1993-94, there's a company called Silicon Graphics Incorporated that came up with something that was just their own little special chips that they had that would make the console run at a lot less of a wattage, which was cheaper to produce than anybody else could. So it was going to save the manufacturer about $40, which is a pretty big thing to save from. So they went to Sega and they're like, hey man, can we want to partner with you guys, power your next console, all this stuff. And Sega's like, yeah, that's cool, man, but then we got to have full rights to what you're doing, and now we own you, basically.
Right.
Which is a Nintendo-style move.
That is what they would do.
But that's what Sega said. And these guys said, nope. They go to Nintendo, and they're like, yeah, we don't need any special treatment, whatever. Just, do your thing for us, and whatever, it's all good. So they went with that, and they powered a lot of what's in that Nintendo 64. Nintendo was very impressed with the power that this thing had, with everything, really. They were impressed with it, and it could do what they wanted it to do, because the 64 was the most powerful console available at the time. You had your Atari Jaguar, which was supposed to be a 64-bit system.
It's not.
It's 4 16-bit systems just taped together, and just, here you go. I still can't believe that. But they tried.
I want to look up more information on that thing. That needs to be a history. Like, you keep saying it's 4 16. Like, how does that even make sense?
That's what they did. They They had 4 16-bit processors.
What does that change? Like you're
Nothing.
still like it's 16.
Exactly. But they claimed it as a 64-bit thing, which it obviously wasn't. But yeah, so Nintendo finally had this. Its development name was Ultra 64, and it got a lot of people excited once they finally unveiled it. It was either late '94 or early '95, I forget what it was, and they showed off Mario, and that just blew people's minds seeing that Mario 64. That. It's still today. It blew my mind the first time I saw it. I'm still impressed every time I go back to play that game. It's just so impressive at the time. We saw nothing like that. And it was, very, very impressive. So we finally are approaching launch day. It was originally supposed to be April of 1996. And Nintendo had promised retailers, April 23rd, I think it was, we're going to be ready. We're going to give you more shipments than you're going to need. It's all going to be ready. It's all going to be good. Yeah, it turns out it got delayed by a month. And retailers were extremely pissed off at Nintendo because they've been treated by Nintendo in the same way. Yeah, we're going to have lots. Oh, no, we're not going to give you that much. No, we're going to have lots this time. It'll be good. No, we're not going to give you lots. You need more Zelda 2s? You're not getting more Zelda 2s. It's not going to happen. What you doing there?
Just keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, so retailers were pissed because Nintendo, again, undersupplied them, which was a big problem. And once it came out, you couldn't get a copy of this thing anywhere, and it ended up selling very, very well in the first year. After that, it started to drop over and over again. Nintendo had a plan where they were going to release one big game every 6 months on this thing, and that is not enough to keep your interest.
No.
We had Breath of the Wild in March, and we're 6 months later, and I haven't touched that game forever.
I mean, you could still be playing it.
You could,
realistically,
kind of, but we had Mario 64. That's not going to carry over like 6 months, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
I mean, it's a little different then, because that game... What's crazy about that to me is Nintendo's first... Like, that was Nintendo's first big 3D... That was the first 3D game. And not only was it their first... It was a good game. Like, that game holds up today. Right? And, like, that was their first one. That boggles my mind. They didn't release... Because even at that time, Nintendo could release, like, Pilot Wing 64. Right? And that would have still been impressive.
That would have been impressive, yeah.
A 3D game. But on top of it being this new 3D experience, it's actually still a good game. That's what's so crazy about Mario 64 to me. That was their first try.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're just going to go back a little bit more, we kind of touched on it last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, but the whole choosing to go cartridge over disc was a horrible mistake because, again, now you could pick up this like the same game on the PS1 at $50 or on the 64 it'd be $80. So we're in that same thing now with the Switch and the PS4. It's the same thing. It's disc is cheaper, obviously. Cards cost more money. It's going to cost more.
Well, exactly.
What's John say here? Important to know Nintendo Power the top 10 list every month. Yeah, that's true. That every single month they would show the top 10 games of the console, and those three stayed pretty much the entire time because how could you knock that off?
You can't. What beats Mario 64 Ocarina of Time?
Or Rayman 2 apparently.
Rayman, that game is good.
Is it like better than Mario 64?
Well, according to that one guy. According to I'm gonna all right, hold on. I'm gonna make an actual legitimate comprehensive review of that game when I'm done playing it.
Do it.
Because that game needs a proper review.
So, yeah, again, the reasons, like, the 64 failed in comparison to the PS1. Main reason was it was more expensive to make games for it. So if you were a smaller developer, you had to pay a lot of money to get this made on a cartridge. So you're losing a lot of third-party people there. And like the Nintendo now is the same as Nintendo then. Like, the problems are all there. The reasons they're good is all like it's all there. They're the same thing. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But the sound chip in the 64 is complete trash. That thing sucks.
Kevin, I would love to know what your favorite is then. If you think Mario 64 is the worst
of all of them,
what is the best? He likes his Wii U a lot. So I'm going to call...
Those Mario games are all trash.
I'm going to call, he's going to say 3D World. And if he says 3D World, I'm going to throw up.
Really? Sunshine.
Okay, that's an okay answer.
I did not like Sunshine. It was okay. It was fine.
You just like the flood mechanics.
Yeah, and that's the whole game.
I don't know why you don't like him so much. Like, it's not my favorite one, but it's still a good game.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful game. It is pretty. I would love to see Mario 64 with those graphics, because that game is pretty. And the new ones in the Wii U are cool, but not great. I'm excited for Odyssey. I want to know what that's going to bring to the...
I'm excited, but I feel like I'm going to be let down. Because
yeah, I know what you mean.
Nintendo is so good at that.
I know what you mean.
It's going to be okay. Sunshine is the most Zelda-like to you. That's
the most...
Weird. Why are you throwing shade at Galaxy? This Galaxy sucked. Oh, did that game suck. I played that for honestly about 15 seconds and I realized I'm not going to have a good time.
It's linear, which, like, that's not a problem, but it's not what I want. Like, people like the story in that game, and even if that story's good, I don't like the gameplay. I just don't. Waving that Wiimote to collect your damn star bits, that is so shit.
Nobody wants that.
That is
Nobody
awful.
Wants that. And how these games got 10 out of 10 will just forever blow my mind. And I just don't get it. I just really don't get it.
I think I could get through Galaxy if that waving around for star bits thing wasn't a thing, because that pisses me off so much. Galaxy is not that good. Galaxy 2 is good, aside from the star bit collection. That's just... Why is there not another way to do... Why can't I run into them? Why do I have to turn the Wiimote and start waving my arm around like a lunatard?
Yep.
Lunatard, you heard it here first.
Paid reviews. Yeah, that's a whole other thing we could discuss.
That's a good one for next week.
The conspiracy of paid reviews.
That's a good one for next week. I'm down with that.
I don't have much information to add, like not credible sources or anything, but...
I know what you mean. We'll talk about that one, actually. That's a good topic at some point. You can run into them, Brett. You can, but then it's whatever. It's easier to use that, but that's part of the set.
Yeah.
I have a million reasons to hate Galaxy.
Reason number 1, it's on the Wii.
That is the biggest problem. I would play that game if it was on any other console.
Reason number 2,
it's on the Wii.
It's also on the Wii.
It's still on the Wii.
Reason number 3, it's got motion controls.
Well, Galaxy 2, they made a lot of improvements, but they didn't fix its biggest flaw.
Oh, what's that?
It was on the Wii.
Oh.
And they kept it on the Wii.
I've been saying for years, I still want my Mario game on the Xbox. Have a good one, John.
Renaming my channel to Captain Lunatard. See, that's you've been talking about why people aren't why your fan base isn't bigger. That's why. Once you rename the channel.
Well, the reason is you're saying Mario 64 is a garbage game, and you're wrong.
That is the reason why.
And he's wrong.
That is a wrong opinion.
He's very, very wrong. Or wrong.
He's wrong.
As some people say it.
Wrong.
That was wrong of me to say that.
You're being a little dramatic.
Wrong.
Stop causing drama. I hate that.
Whoa. Whoa. How old is he?
Older than you.
And he still hates it, eh?
I might offend him. 30s? Somewhere in his 30s?
Okay.
I imagine. I don't know.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't hold up.
Graphically, it's a mess.
See, for me, every time I play
39. I called it.
Every time I play that game, it brings me back to 96 from when I first played that game. So once you get into that 96 mode, it fits in perfectly. It's mind-blowing. It's graphically incredible. Now, yeah, anything on the 64 is graphically a mess. Like, everything on that thing looks bad and terrible.
But it's got that nostalgic hold on you.
The nostalgic plus, man, that was the first game like that.
The camera isn't that bad. I've never understood the camera argument.
It's not great, but, like, Sonic Adventure 2 came out in, like, 2001, 2002.
That is a worse camera.
That camera is garbage.
That's way worse.
And we're talking, like, 6 years after this Mario 64. Most of the third-party games on the PS2 and GameCube, the camera angles were always crap.
And, like, people always over-exaggerate how bad the cameras are.
For sure.
It's always over-exaggerated. Like, it's game-breakingly bad. No, it's not. Just deal with it. Like, every once in a while, it'll get stuck in a wall. Like, that's the biggest problem I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's just not as bad as people make it out to be.
You can change it and stuff. I don't know.
I've never understood that ever.
It's much better than what our bud Captain Retro is saying here.
I read an article the other day about millennials, and it made me think because it was interesting that people born, in the 90s, kind of that time, even a little maybe before that, or grew up in the 90s, or were born late 90s. We all grew up in this generation where technology was changing so fast that everything we remember feels like it was so much longer ago. Like my N64 days that I always talk about so fondly, that was only, I'm 19, 9 years ago. That's not actually that long ago. And then my GameCube days were after that, and then et cetera, et cetera. Like that, the time, it feels like ages.
See, you're young. You're very young.
I know this. I'm talking about me here. I'm not talking about you. So, I think that's my whole reason for loving my N64 so much, just because technology really quickly changed. So it felt like this thing was. I don't know. It was a cool article. It made me think about it. Anyway, I'm ready to wind down.
Yep.
This is where you say.
Winding down.
Winding down. Thank you. That's all I was waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this very impromptu episode of First Strike. I still can't believe we actually went live tonight. This was a pain to set up, but we're glad you guys.
Honestly, there's 4 computers in here, and there's another 2 out there. Most of which are not good enough to run this.
No.
There's the one we're using now, which is good enough. There's our normal one, which is also good enough.
But broken.
Now.
And we have a bunch of crap.
We have a lot of work to do to get next week's to be proper and whatever. So, once we get that on, and after Captain Retro apologizes about saying those bad things to Mario 64...
Then we'll be live again.
We'll be getting him on the podcast.
We keep saying that! And maybe it would have even been this week if the computer didn't do this.
Yeah, I want to get you and Corey and some others on. We just want everything to be good and proper first. This week would have been a good week.
It would have been.
Except on...
And then Kai.
Kai decides to play Minecraft on this thing. I've been telling him for years, do not play Minecraft on this thing.
It will delete the hard drive. That's what
it did. And it did. It deleted the hard drive.
That's not what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
That's not what happened. We'll be in touch about the... All right. It's such a nice couch.
Yeah.
It's such a nice...
That's all I'm going to hear when I go home.
It's a brand new couch today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys, hopefully, for the love of God, next week, Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. CST. I think again, thank you, John Sankey, for making this week's podcast episode possible.
Yes.
Shout out to him. Again, all the links, social media stuff, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
I have a secret personal Twitter account.
You do. It's not really a secret. You retweet Extra Life stuff all the time.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Again, follow social media stuff in the description.
Yeah, hit me up on... What's that, Snapchat?
On Snapchat. Hit Shane up on Pinterest.
Big fan of that Pinterest.
His Tumblr.
Tumblr Flickr?
Flickr?
Is that something?
I've never known what that one was. I always see it though.
MySpace, we're still on.
Shane's a big social media guy.
Yeah.
Loves that shit. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Check out my my couch listing on Virage Sale. Okay.
$300.
$300. It's a nice couch. I bet I could get away with that.
Probably. Wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, like someone would be able to pay.
No, honestly, Darlene is going to be talking to me about buying that thing off you.
Well, message me on Facebook how that goes. All right. Have a good night, everybody. See you soon. Music.